my colleagues as well.
Okay, that will be better. So, people who have not joined, they can also see that. Yeah.
Exactly, sir.
And I can also see Mr. Murthy has joined. Good
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Murthy. How are you?
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome and this session of Innovation Next. And wish you all a very, very happy belated Diwali greetings to you and your family. And yeah. So, sir, Sridhar, sir, if you can kindly take me through 5 minutes, a brief introduction about your institution, your challenges, and what exactly is your vision, number of students, so I can align my presentation accordingly then.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, after having seen the email sent by your team member,
Right.
I was actually attracted to see that we can get some help from you.
Yes.
Basically, ours is a deemed university,
Hmm.
and we are NAC A grade accredited. We
Okay.
also have 5 NBA accredited courses as well,
Okay.
and another 5 are due in the month of December.
Okay.
We have our incubator cell here called HTBI, Hindustan Technology and Business Incubator,
Okay.
and we also have some good projects under Government of India as well.
Okay.
The main challenge is basically how do we take it further.
Correct.
As per the number of courses and programs being offered here, actually our institution is majoritarily skewed towards engineering and technology, though we have arts and allied health sciences as well.
Right.
But majority of income and as well as the number of students, about 80% of our students are from engineering and technology background.
Correct.
And we have around 6,000 students in the campus now as such.
Okay. Okay.
So this is a very brief introduction. And what we are looking basically is to augment our innovation drives among the students, faculty, as well as, to augment our, the startup initiatives, as well as get many more projects for our incubator cell. So this
Fantastic.
is the main challenge.
Fantastic. I think that sums up everything in a very nutshell, and that is what we are here for. And
Yes.
so in the next about, I hope you have about 45 minutes, because I have something to show to you, which is
Sure,
going to
sir.
be
Please
of
go
great,
ahead.
yeah, great value and interest to the challenges that you are facing, and it is going to help you boost your innovations and startups in a very, very big way. I think you can take a quantum leap from here, once you see the presentation that we have.
Sure, sir. Please go
So welcome once again, and thank you for sparing your most valuable time, even post Diwali, when everybody is busy in festivities. You have really taken out your time. Thank you, Mr. Murthy, also for joining in. And I am accompanied by my head of marketing for India and international, Mr. Jay Bhardwaj. I think he might have connected with you. So welcome all. I would start with the small introduction as to what we do, and how we can help your institution in becoming one of the most innovative institutions, not only in India but all over the world. So World Innovation Network, is basically, the mission is to help the academic institutions, not only in India but all over the world. But I'll focus here in India. What is our challenge? One is to help them to meet the new innovation and startup policy, which is introduced by the government of India. Number two is to help them in achieving the objectives of new education policy. And number three, to score high on ARIA, which is basically Atal rankings of the institutes on the innovation achievements. So we have developed the digital tools, very profound digital tools. I call it profound. You will see how it is profound. Because there is nothing like this all over the world today, and everybody is talking about edtech, but edtech for the purpose of innovations and startups are not there anymore. So anywhere, in fact. So we have very, very powerful products which we have, like the innovation Rubik's cubes, like the 3D idea generators. The main repository we have over here, which helps people to convert an idea into breakthrough innovations. I repeat the word breakthrough innovations and breakthrough startups, because we have many copy paste ideas today. So these ready to use mind maps act as directions, which takes the students from an idea generation to creation of the startup, to getting the funds, etc. Number three, we have developed world's largest innovation network, which is called World Innovation Network, so WIN, which connects the entire innovation and the startup ecosystem together. Because one of the biggest challenges today is that industry is in a great need of innovation, but the academia does not know what those needs are, and vice versa. So we have connected the entire system together. Then, of course, accompanied with premium pro presentations and innovation assessment tools. So as you can see, when we talk about the World Innovation Network, which is a resource which is having 250 channels and around 4,300, 4,200 resources on innovation, connecting the innovation seekers and the innovation providers. So when you talk about innovation seekers, you can see on the left-hand side, we have government. They have so many needs. Their main agenda today is Indian government basically is that, you please innovate. Then companies, MNCs, accelerators, R&D centers, venture capitalists. On the right-hand side, you will see that, the main innovation providers are basically universities, because they have, in India, there are 10,000 universities, I mean, AICTE institutions, there are 30,000 UGC institutions. So a very, very big lot of students, they enter. I mean, it's about, 50 million students. But if you see the patent per million in India, that is just 35 or 37 compared to patent per million of 3,400 by Korea. So that goes on to say, that just says the whole story, that, the value creation by the universities has to be really increased. And of course, innovation providers like, startups, technology providers, professionals and students, which are all directly linked to the universities, because all startups are happening there. The students are all there. It's a very big mass. So if it is connected to the people who need the innovation, I think the story is going to be absolutely different. And industry academia has been a very, very big challenge. So you can see the success rate of all these countries, whether it is South Korea, which suddenly became one of the most innovative countries, or Japan, or USA, or Finland, any of these countries, if you pick up, it's basically because of their connected ecosystems. They're very well connected with each other. And I think it is the academia which is driving the innovations out, in those countries. However, we are lagging behind, but we can definitely catch up. We created an evolution. The evolution that we created was a transformation of a smartphone. You have already seen that, into a bank and a doctor and an e-commerce or whatever it is. But we have visualized the next smartphone, as an incubator itself, because it's been the evaporation of the digital, the evaporation of the physical infrastructures, actually. I mean, where are the banks today, right? Where are the where are the hospitals today? They're all in mobile phones. I mean, where is the chemist shop, right? So everything, I mean, is becoming digital. And I think the last 2 years has really pushed us about 5 years to 10 years ahead when it comes to digital thinking. So the incubator of a student is basically a smartphone. I mean, what happens in an incubator can happen on the smartphone itself. And then not only that, because of the presence of so many companies which are helping these students to accelerate their startups and help them, it actually becomes an accelerator also. So they don't have to run around here and there. I mean, it's on the phone. So what is going to happen is that, once you subscribe to all these tools, all your 6,000 students are going to be, having the digital incubator and the accelerator in their handset. That is the promise that, we give, and that is something that we actually enable you to achieve, which will develop the innovation mindsets in a very, very big way. And especially when you see the NISP, the new innovation and startup policy, which talks about in promotion of the entrepreneurship and innovation should be the major dimension of the HEIs. And they say that the startup enabling institutional infrastructure will have to be created not for a small section of the community, but they're talking about democratization. So it is not that, a very few section, let us say, 10, 50 or 100 are actually trained on innovation. I think the whole need today is to develop innovation and entrepreneurship across the institution, which is a very big challenge, because to train 6,000 people, you will need hundreds of professors. and where are they? And even if you find them, what is the cost, impact of that on your institution? I always say that making a policy, is a very easy job, but execution of a policy, requires tremendous amount of efforts. So we wanted to reduce the efforts of those of your institution. Number two, if you see the NEP, sir, NEP talks about the more holistic and multidisciplinary education. I mean, as you mentioned, that 80% of the students are the engineers. The problem with the engineers is that they do not understand the commercial aspects of innovation. They do not know how to commercialize their ideas. They have an idea, but they do not know how to actually, go to the market, how to make it successful, what are the commercial aspects of the ideas. So with this system that we have created, and of course, vice versa. Your MBA students, they do not understand anything about technology intelligence. And today, if an MBA does not understand about what technology is, I don't think he can create any business model. So this is a very, very important aspect of the tools that we provide. They focus on the cognitive skills. They have a great focus on innovation, and it is a multidisciplinary section that we enable both of them to comply with. The next thing the NEP talks about, very important, is resolving global challenges. I mean, the whole focus has to be not local, but global as well, because the world has become a village. And post-pandemic, the distances have, further been reduced. Greater industry academia linkages is what they are talking about, and research-based innovation. The last but not the least, ARIA, it is completely based on the outputs. But unless you have the enabling infrastructure, the outputs like developing mindsets or infrastructures and facilities, innovations developed, and quality and quantity of the startups established is very, very important today. So they are not just talking about the number of startups, but also the startups which have been able to mobilize the funds from the industry, the funds from the venture capitalists, and the scale at which they have grown. So collaboration, investment, IP commercialization, etc., are basically completely, the universities and the institutions in India are going to be ranked on the basis of ARIA. So that's a brief presentation. So digital transformation, I think, has become not just the buzzword, but actually, how do we do this across the institutions is something that World Innovation Network's mission is. And that is what we are here to help you. I start with the with the main repository that we have created, which is the mind maps. Everything that we have over here. Just one second. Yeah. See, everything basically, so it starts with basically the human-centered design. Anything, any problem that you have in this world. So all the principles, our mind maps are having the principles right over there. Now, how do you discover the needs? The moment I click over here, I get this extended. So which means our mind maps are having the principal idea, right? It has got the main idea. And then when you talk about the discovery of the needs, unless you discover the needs, it is not going to be possible. In the people, what are you going to be discovering? So how is, what is the age factor, the gender, the culture, the demography, profession, income group? Now, when you're creating innovations, unless you start with a customer, innovations will never happen. So the income group itself is, the low, middle, high, and super rich. So you can see when it comes to discovery of the needs, the students are starting right from here. And then what are the challenges? And if I want to take it to a different mind map from here, I can simply click here and it goes to a different mind map, which means that for discovery of needs, I have a different mind map altogether. So that is the beauty of the mind maps that we have created, a very structured principle of, creating innovation. And every student has, he saves this file and he has a record of what he has done. There is no PPTs needed. And everything starts from here, and which student is working on which project. Then how do you define challenges? Simply click on this. So how do you gain customer insights, right? So you have to talk to them. There have to be the questionnaires. There have to be the interviews. You should know their pain points. If a student has any idea on their pain point, he can simply say that I am working on this particular pain point of the customer, right? So what is the kind of foresight? What are the challenges to be resolved? He notes down all these things. And he goes further, he develops concepts. How are you going to be creating concepts? Now, the first thing it talks about is brainstorming. Now, what is the kind of brainstorming that you do? And here we provide a very important tool, which is called innovation rubrics. Now, for example, I can show here the innovation rubrics that we have on the design thinking, and we have 12 such innovation rubrics. By the way, I'm giving you the example of one such Rubik's cube. So when you see this, you find that this is a cube which you can rotate in 360 degrees, any ways that you want to, and this is on a design innovation. And it has got all the ideas, very well researched cube, all the ideas which goes for the design thinking. And you can actually use it for the purpose of your brainstorming sessions. And I can pick up my marker. Let me show it to you. I hope, sir, I am audible and my screen is visible. Jay?
Yeah, Praveen. Perfect.
Just ask Sridhar sir also.
You're audible and visible.
Okay, right. So we have this, the cube over here, and if I want to create something new, I can simply pick up my mouse and say, I can shuffle it. And the moment I shuffle it, I have very, very different combinations of the ideas that I can see. So when I'm in my brainstorming session on that mind map, how do I make the product, let us say, much more simpler? So let me pick up this Eclipse tool and say, how can I make the product, much more simpler? How do I combine two different technologies, or can I have the combination of two products itself together, right? How can a style also have the solutions? So when I am exploring these ideas, how can I utilize a different material, for example, which could be much more lighter, so that the product becomes much more greener. So these kind of, permutations and the combinations are going to create some amazing solutions, and these ideas can be exported on the mind map. I can simply copy and paste these ideas in a very simple way. So, let us say if I have to copy, and self-driven is, for example, a word which I like very much, and say, how can I make the product self-driven, which is much more efficient, much more better because of the digital technologies. And it is a hybrid of two different technologies that, we can think of. So, the Toyota Prius, which was created, which was nothing but the hybrid of the gasoline and the electric engine. So I can clear this, and I can, pick up this, I can shuffle this, and it is programmed. So you can run the cube manually and also automatically. So if you want to create a chaos, because everything starts from a chaos, but you must have a chaos engine. But we don't have any kind of a chaos engine, resulting into similarity of most of the projects. So the moment I shuffle it, you find that, this is programmed for a 20 times of random shuffling. And it is, the moment it stops, it is going to create some amazing combinations of the words, which can actually, result into some amazing innovation. The proximity and navigation, for example, the two words that you see on the top of the screen, proximity, navigation, problems. How can we resolve this? I think these are the challenges, that the students can work on, and they can actually create many of these ideas. Now, when you see this mind map, these ideas can be copied and pasted from here on the mind map just by a copy paste fashion. So when we were talking about the human-centered design, you refer to the idea generator. There are also idea generators on the needs, right? So people can go here, they can actually see, they can ideate solutions, they can come with the idea and develop the concepts. And how can you refer to these? So we are also telling them that there are other mind maps. For example, we say that you refer the mind map on 2A for design innovations. Now I'll come to that mind map. Now, deliver the prototypes, evolve. I think evolution is a very, very important process where they track the learnings. They engage the customers, they test it, they come with the iterations. I mean, they can have the pictures of various products over here. They can take feedback, do the continuous improvement, and test again with the customers. But as I said, when you are developing the prototypes, and or when you say that refer to the mind map on the problem resolution, you can actually go over here because you are still not able to solve the challenge. The extent to which we have provided this is the problem resolution mind map. Now I can close this idea generator thing. And so here the students see a very different kind of a mind map. They now know what is the problem. But if they are not able to still resolve the problem, so there is an advanced level that he goes. And that is what we call is very important for the breakthrough thinking. Here, we have given 9 kinds of thinking, sir, which is systematically used for the purpose of creating the breakthrough innovations, which starts with analytical thinking. So when you say analytical thinking, it talks about what exactly is the problem, why it is happening, where it is happening, when, because these are factual information. So we call it analytical. And who are the customers who are facing this problem? Then, creative thinking, when you talk about, you can now see that, how it is expanding. So we are talking about imagination, where we say that, you think without any kind of bonds, and then you come out with a visual thinking. There are 5 levels of creative thinking we take our students on. And basically we say, get inspired by the imitation. There's nothing wrong in getting inspired by the imitation. Where is the similar idea working, right? Then you create a variation, do the combinations, transformation, and the original ideas. So creative thinking is basically a process of divergent and convergent thinking, which is very important. So the problem is, unfortunately, in the academic system that we have, there is very little focus on, the imagination and creativity. But if you see Stanford, the mantra that they give to the students is that with creativity and imagination, go and change the world. And that is why a handful of people from there have actually changed the world. So you have divergent thinking, where they create many solutions. Convergent thinking, we talk about iterations here, because unless you iterate, and the meaning of iterations is basically chance experiments. Many of the innovations in the world have happened because people actually created trial and error. There were accidental discoveries and serendipity, which is very important. And of course, the part of it is also the systems thinking. So you can see how the student is actually, made to think on a platform which enables him to challenge the basic assumptions of a problem. Why? Why should we do the thing in a similar way? There was nothing wrong with Microsoft selling their tools in the shrink wrap packages till Google came and offered everything, online. So you have to challenge the assumptions. And design thinking, as we, saw that idea generator, we have mentioned that you refer the cube. There are so many principles of design thinking. You can see the depth of the work which has gone in creating. So if he has a principle of divide, which says that divide the object into 2 parts. So the example could be a shipping container, the wheels were removed, and how the shipping container resolved so many problems, redefine the industry. You talk about technology thinking, can it be resolved with the sensors? Can it be resolved with the drones? Everything today is basically, even the insurance companies are taking resort to the drone technologies to minimize their risk assessments. You see no connections actually, but can you imagine that, a banking and an insurance industry would actually be trying to minimize the risk on that? So innovative thinking, how do you make it faster, better, simpler, cheaper, greener, and smarter and lighter? One mind map, this has got so many ideas. And then how do you link it with the sustainable development goals? I can simply click over here and see, can this problem be related to the clean water and sanitation of the SDG so that I can get the funds? Can it be related to the climate action? And if it can be, I can simply click over here, go on the United Nations goal number 13 and see what are the objectives of this particular, UN goal number 13 by simply saying that, look at the targets and the indicators, look at the challenges, what they have posted over here, and very live and dynamic site. So one particular problem resolution mind map, it basically takes the student, to a very, very different level of thought process. And unless you have a breakthrough idea, you cannot have a breakthrough innovation. So what is the radical thinking solution that you have created? As a result of this idea generation, or as a result of this particular mind map, instead of training the students on that, I think the role of your professor will become the role of the mentorship. They can see actually what they're doing over here. Because if you have to train them on this, it is going to become a mammoth exercise to train every student on this. But they know what it means now. So reduction of your training time, reduction of your efforts, reduction of the world-class faculty, and then they come out, because radical thinking is basically, completely coming out with a new solution which can redefine the industry. That is what is the attempt they should make. So, in the words of Henry Ford, if he said that if I asked my customers what they wanted, probably they would have said a faster horse, because the customers they themselves don't know actually what they need. So how can you select the three best solutions? Your first mind map is the basis of any kind of problem resolution or creating a breakthrough innovation. I want to take you to a link over here, which is our World Innovation Network link. If you can go over here and find out what are the various challenges, this is completely linked to the World Innovation Network, the site that we have created. Just 1 second. I don't know if this. Yeah. So the needs, for example, the open innovation platforms of the MNCs, unless they know what they need, how will they resolve a problem? Although we gave in the first mind map that you have to identify the problem, but the moment he comes over here, this is our platform, he can see what is the need of, let us say, a company called Procter and Gamble. I mean, we have given various verticals. Let me tell you, we have FMCG, we have automotive, we have energy company needs, accelerators by consumer electronics, everybody. So, they can just simply come over here and go inside the organization in the fraction of a second. So I am not required to talk to anybody for the industry academia. Now, this company, Procter and Gamble, what are they looking for? So their innovation needs, in 1 second, I can go inside their ecosystem and find out that they have got so many innovation needs today. So that mind map which is there will actually, let us say, for example, beauty and grooming innovation. You know how diapers changed the fortune of Procter and Gamble. It created $1 billion industry. So innovation, our objective is innovation should not be a rocket science. It should not be confined to the, let us say, bright flash of a few genius. It should be within the vicinity of every ordinary person. And that is how we will have the large capacities. So the beauty and grooming innovations, I click over here and they say, okay, right now it is not there, but let us say oral, personal and family care innovations, 16 current needs. So they say that we are needing these kind of technologies today. For example, technologies for the healthcare, diagnostics. Can we create apps? Your students can actually see this and read more and submit their innovations. Can you create the novel cleaning agents? The sensitivity and the pain, the healthcare, the respiratory technology, which is very important. So this eliminates the need for doing any kind of a customer research. And that is what is very important. And it creates a strategic startup, which means a startup which is going to be funded by Procter and Gamble tomorrow. And that is what we need, because the VCs, they treat the students like Shylocks. And I don't think venture capital right in the very beginning could be a great idea, but here to collaborate with the companies, they take a great amount of interest. They provide mentorship, they provide funds, they provide everything. So you see these mind maps, the way these mind maps are, they are completely connected systems, which enables people to identify the needs, identify the challenges, and come with the solutions. I go to the next mind map after this, which is further, it says that if you are still not able to resolve that kind of a challenge, I can unfold all the things. And it opens up for me. It says that, can you combine two different technologies? I mean, you can see smartphone, the way technologies are being combined, or automotive technologies today. How can you eliminate the harmful effects, the scarce materials? So it takes them on a step-by-step platform. I mean, you have to adjust in a given space today. So vertical farms came out, right? So how do you basically, enhance these factors and go further? Still, if you are not able to solve, your engineers, would need a TRIZ solution. So what is this? The principle, the 40 principles of TRIZ. And we talked about the many principles, but we also talked about the principles of short living objects and Procter and Gamble and diapers. So, disposable razors, for example, they have all created a billion-dollar industry. And how we can use these principles, the nested doll principle, for example, the principle of universality. So these all principle, local quality, where every component actually meets the need of a customer. So we have the Swiss knife, which has got a pen drive and a laser pointer for an executive. These kind of innovation principles, taking out or extraction, the way the wheels were taken out. So these examples are given, which is going to be very, very helpful for them to create their, you talk about the segmentation principle, IKEA, and it became a billion-dollar furniture company because they were able to create a modular furniture, which nobody thought about it. And today, of course, it is. So there are so many things which can be created in a modular fashion. So if the student has an idea, by looking at this principle, he can simply say that, I can solve this problem in this way. So these are advanced problem solving techniques given in a very scientific way. So there's a great focus we have on the design thinking. Unless you have a great design, unless you have a great product, don't start up, don't go to the market. Because I like Peter Thiel, the man who funded Facebook. He said there should be no second Mark Zuckerberg. There should be no second Bill Gates or Tesla. And that is where he funds. I mean, if you have already got a competition, he said there is no point in entering the market because the competition will destroy you. That's precisely the reason why we have 90% of the failures of the startups. They're eaten up and they cannot survive in the markets. They cannot generate funds. They cannot convince the customer of the problem that they're solving. And I think these problem-solving techniques, which I've shown to you here, the TRIZ advanced methods, etc., that is going to be very, very important for them. And then, it basically comes to today's world. How do you create smart products? It is not just going to be enough, because by the time they have resolved that particular challenge, they will have to create a product which has got to be smart, because you cannot create a conventional product today. Our innovations are completely focused on technology, sir. I mean, there are many, many innovations which are there in the market because of the lack of technology. They have not succeeded. So anything that you create has to be smart. So in this smart, what is smart actually? So when you say smart, it is basically about this, let us say, smart automobiles. So the moment I click on this, I have a new mind map over here, which talks about creation of a smart automobiles. And if you want to see the web link which is there, or if you want to partner, so we have given 2 links over here, web technologies, latest technologies, which is there. So they can go and see on our World Innovation Network itself, what are the latest smart technologies in the field of the automobile industry. And all of them are basically connected to the videos. I will not show the videos right now, but I'm just telling you that the technologies of the future are going to be there for the students to evaluate the designs that they're coming out with, and how these designs are going to be important, are very important. The drone cars, for example, they have an amazing futuristic design which the students can actually see. Now, if I see this particular mind map, where we talk about the smart technology, a more important thing will be to partner with the technology providers, because you see how Samsung became the world leader. They went to Silicon Valley and partnered with Google and Nokia. The then world leader was completely thrown out of market. So who are these technology providers? The World Innovation Network has done a research on connecting the students with the world's best technology providers on, let us say, self-driving cars, or predicting and maintaining the needs by listening to your car. And I think the partnership with them, these companies are looking for markets, and India, I tell you, is the biggest market for expansion of technologies. So innovation for us is not just about creating from the scratch, but also leveraging the creativity and the competence of these people. Denso, for example, has done a fantastic work. And what kind of thinking process, they're looking for new ideas. So what kind of a thinking process the student has, which can be linked to Denso, and they can simply click over here, go to the global website and find out as to, what their needs are. So this is the power of the package. If I accept all the cookies, it opens the website and I can actually explore What kind of a mobility for well-being are they trying to create? So when you see, the whole idea over here is smart driving assistance. So when they're on the Denso website, we say immobilize the engine for the drunken drivers. So we have got the principal idea, the main idea, the sub idea, and an example of that. A student having any idea can simply go for the subtopic over here, or say that, I have a second idea around this, or let us say automated emergency management. We will be having the electrical cars very soon, and the cars can get stuck up anywhere. So the example is drones for charging the batteries of the EVs, right? In the emergency condition, I can make my, my presentation right from here. And so I don't need any kind of a PowerPoint. So if a student has any idea on the smart automobiles, to the mentors or to the venture capitalists or to the government or to technologies providers, he can actually talk about his idea, the smart driving assistance that we talked about, or the emergency management system that we talked about is right on the screen. So this enables the students to, create the very, very big impact on the work that they're doing. So it talks about the drones for charging the battery of the EVs in the emergency conditions. So I can actually, make the presentation directly from here. I can expand, fold, and I can expand all the ideas. And you can see all the ideas, which are given over here for the students to see how the technology which is used in the airplane, which is called the RAT engine, it comes out to leverage the wind, can be used in the cars of tomorrow, right? So we have the car going at the speed of 100 kilometers an hour, and we also have the wind blowing across us at that speed. Is it possible to leverage that? So the green energy part of it, charging of the station, which is a problem, can actually result in creating many of these. Similarly, you can go to smart retail, smart products, smart product, for example, if they want to create, they can simply click over here and see the directions for creating the smart products. Again, the link, the user experience they are trying to create, so on and so forth. So this is the power of the the mind maps that we have. Smart healthcare, if they want to create, they can actually go and click over here and see how can they create the apps to fight the diseases, or the remote device configuration, or the remote patient monitoring systems if they want to, the real-time patient management systems and all. Every direction, I think the research that has gone to create this has been enormous, which saves tremendous amount of training time. Everything is, and there is no rocket science, everything is so simple, and which can be very easily understood. So it's not just about the smart products. Every smart technology, let us say fintech, for example, right? So there would be many students who are interested in the fintech technologies. How is it that they're going to control the crime? Or you have seen the rise of the wealth tech apps these days. How are they going to have the robo advisory for the investment of the people? The directions and the areas which are there, the robo lending processes which can reduce the NPAs, or which can reduce the risks of lending, are some of the great concerns. So we have not just given the directions, we have also talked about the great challenges which they are facing today and how these challenges can be avoided by these technologies. So regulation tech, for example, today, I mean, RBI came with the rule that the automated systems will not be there on the credit cards. How are the banks going to comply with that? I mean, how are the service providers going to comply with that? So every idea that you have is here. And, let us say you have said you've got so many engineers, the robotech, for example, the application of robots in so many areas today. I mean, right from, it was conventionally about the industrial applications. But if you see the application of the robotics in the area of mobility, or, even in the case of logistics, if I want to see this, the link takes me to the World Innovation Network. And it says that these are the areas in which the robots today are helping in the smart logistics. I can pick up any of this example, all the videos over here, and see how these robots are actually helping resolve the most complex challenges which people cannot even imagine. So the idea is that, we showcase to them, we open up their imagination, we actually, talk about, let us say, agriculture, for example. If you see the agriculture and the robotics, you can go and see the links over here. It takes you straight over there, where there are so many robotic applications of the agriculture, and smart agriculture is becoming the future. So you cannot make the student imagine new things, unless he's seeing new things. So the harvesters, the way the robotic harvesting is happening today, a lot of focus on the farm equipments is there. So military and safety, your manufacturing conventionally was there. But if you want to see the robots in the healthcare, you can simply go and see how these robots are actually helping the healthcare, right from the surgical operations to the customer service, to nurses, to attendants, to really some great ideas that is very important for people to see. So everything is connected, and people can see. The another challenge that the world faces is basically the clean tech solutions. But what is to be done in the clean tech? And the moment you click on the materials, for example, it says that the materials lightweight in transportation. 4 years ago, when I was at Hindalco, I had told them that the future of the car is aluminum. And today, 90% of the car manufacturing companies have shifted to the aluminum because of the lighter parts. And you walk inside a Volkswagen factory at Pune, the board you see over there is reduce the weight of the car by 45%. So all these, the impact that these materials will have on the clean tech, the impact which the transportation and logistics will have on the clean tech, all the great ideas, and the impact that agriculture and food will have on the clean tech, and what is supposed to be there, right? So the upcycling of the organic waste is one of the challenges that we have in our Indian agriculture. So these kind of solutions, I mean, they can work on various kinds of solutions to create many of the solutions, because you need some tech ideas. And these tech ideas we have done by doing a research of the latest tech startups, which are coming all over the world. But they are at a very nascent stage. But this is the emerging future. So the research that we have in every kind of a technology, drone technologies, for example, are going to be at and we are not just talking local. So how is the industrial applications of drones is really on a high. What are these industrial applications of the drones? And the moment I go there, I click here, and it is connected with the World Innovation Network. The drone solution providers, for example, the drones for mining industry, how you can see that the drones are helping the organizations today in so many industries, which was never possible before. So the students, they get to understand that they have to create some new applications, out of these drones, which is the mind map is there on, on their, this thing. They were working on the drone technology, for example, the agriculture and farming, the building safety inspections, geographical mapping, the transportation, which is there, storm tracking and forecasting. Anybody has an idea, he has to simply go over here and say that this is the way I can control the disasters of the future. Let's say the hilly areas. I cannot see what is coming the next. I cannot see because there are so many hills and the bends. So is it possible by the drones to send the camera pictures, right on a spot where I can see that the vehicle is coming, so that the accidents can be avoided? So many of these, the entertainment drones, who had thought that a technology which was basically deployed by the army for military reasons will be shown for the light entertainment shows? There could be many more such possibilities. So we say that when you are creating the applications, see what kind of new applications you want to create. The link over here takes you to hundreds of new applications of drones. And you can see that this channel, World Innovation Network, on the drones, it says that how US is trying to experiment on creating, not only experiment, they have already created the firefighting drone systems.
Attached to a 200-foot-long test. They can capture both standard video and
So these technology mind maps, which are completely linked, to the solutions that we have created, is going to be a very, very important thing for the people. There is insurance tech, there is agri tech. So these mind maps are, going to basically help them in resolving, for example, vertical farming in agriculture. And if they want to see the agri-tech, they can go and see the link, what solutions they have in the hydroponics or the sensors, which is being deployed in a very big way to find out the quality of soil, the plant, water management, regenerative agriculture. So these mind maps that I've shown you, are really going to, let me close these mind maps so that I can tell you how do we take up to the startup level. Now, a very important, these mind maps that we have are not only focused on these technologies, which is your institute's main reason, but we have also given them the complete startup mechanism. Once they have the ideas created, how do they evaluate the competitive analysis of that? I mean, how do they do a risk mitigation? How do they convert into a breakthrough? For example, how do they create a business model innovation? So this is very important because the students are not able to create business models. So you can see here that while having the cost leadership factor is very important, but differentiation, greater value, focus, and that is why Tata Nano lost, because they had a cost leadership. The big companies do a blunder. The focus of the markets was absolutely wrong. They went to tier 1 cities. The segmentation was wrong. The geography selected was wrong. By the time they realized after 7 years, I think every big company was making a small car. And that is what happens. Engineers are very good when it comes to creating products. And even if they've created, but the point is that at that point of time, the business models have got to be very, very important. And how do we create these strategic alliances? By leveraging the channels. Can you imagine that a company called Toyota, they created a strategic alliance with Maruti, who is their competitor, and they said that the Corolla car, the Toyota Corolla car, will be available in the Maruti Nexa showrooms. And vice versa, the Nexa cars can be there in the Corolla showrooms. So people are creating, even the competition is creating strategic alliances today. So I think that is very important for people to understand. And imagine if the CEO of Toyota had to create so many dealers, it would have taken him thousands of millions of dollars. Now, go-to-market strategies again where they fail. So how do I create this go-to-market strategy? How can I, combine with the existing channel partners? I mean, Walmart, when they came to India, they partnered with Bharti Airtel. Very strategic, because they can write about the information to millions of such subscribers. Tatas are collaborating with the Indian oil petrol pumps because the trucks are going out, and that is an idea that we gave it to them. So I am basically we believe in strategic thinking today, because every business wants to grow, and every business is looking for opportunities to grow. So how these students, who have no idea about marketing, who have no idea about how do we scale up our businesses. So if it is global market and scale up, they can just click over here, and it takes them to hundreds of, companies, the corporate venture companies, which are helping these people to scale up their businesses. So, I mean, let us say a student has any idea on health tech today. He can simply click over here. And can you imagine, sir, the number of companies who are standing in a queue today and waiting for an idea? So this reverses the queue. The students will not stand in a queue for the jobs anymore, is my vision, is my passion as well. And the companies have to stand in the queue. So Johnson & Johnson, any student of yours who creates a health tech idea from here, can directly go to these venture capital companies. It takes me a second to go inside Pfizer Ventures for startups, AstraZeneca for startups, Merck Ventures. They are waiting because today their internal people are not able to innovate. And they know that the best of the ideas can only come from the student community, which is Generation Z. And they are born in a very, very different kind of era. So you can see how funding the early innovation has become the priority for all these venture companies. The reason is you don't have billions of dollars like Facebook to pay to WhatsApp, because once your business has matured, these companies have to pay billions of dollars. And I think never in the history of innovation or startup was a time which was better, a boom time for a university where they could have actually leveraged such platforms. So I think that this is a great opportunity for the universities to see that they leverage this, and they actually now I can go and show you more companies: GlaxoSmithKline Ventures, Sanofi Ventures, Eli Lilly Ventures, Roche Ventures. All of them, they started in the last about 1.5 to 2 years because the businesses were affected. And they also knew that most of the companies today are growing with the open innovation. And open innovation is the mantra. And Cardinal Ventures. And what they say, partner with the student founders to build the future. This is a new era. So a new dimension of innovation. Look at the energy sector, right from Chevron to Shell. I go inside Shell in a second. So I don't have to, ideas have no racial discrimination. That is the best part of it. So I can simply go inside and see, and they say our approach is basically to work with the startups and help them in the early stages to scale up and globalize their businesses. Your students having any idea today can look into this whole platform that we have created of the World Innovation Network, which has got every company. Let us say your student has got any idea on FMCG, or they have any idea on insurance tech, they can talk to Alliance. If they have any idea on banking or insurance, Aviva, for example, Goldman Sachs, all of them, they're all looking for ideas, because the passion and the energy that the student has, it can never be matched by the internal employees who are working there. And they are all looking for work-life balances. Innovations cannot happen in the corporates today. So when we have such platforms, it enables the students to write, not only go to market, but scale it up. Let us say that your student has any idea on the automobile sector. Because of the smart automobile mind map which is there, we can simply go to Bosch. And because Bosch says that we create a win-win partnership between Bosch and the startups, emerging startups. And this is what is there for the startup and a student. So they can sell the ideas, they can test the ideas, learn, speed, network, and scale. So that is the power of the whole system that we provide. And today, the companies, Toyota, they have started calling their innovation centers as co-innovation centers. The collaborative safety research, the accelerator by Honda. How many ideas your people will actually start working with companies and not alone? The problem is that most of the companies, most of the academias, they're operating in silos. They don't know what the organizations need. But if you see what Honda needs and what they provide: funding, testing platforms, they provide mentors, they provide collaboration space, and their areas. Every area that they have mentioned is covered by our mind map. Whether it is mobility, or whether it is energy and environment that you saw, whether it is robotics, smart manufacturing, and transformative business. So there is a great possibility of your students coming out with some great ideas. If you talk about the smart manufacturing, which is covered basically in the smart products, which is here, and it talks about the smart factories. It takes you straight away to the mind map. And then how can you create such solutions is by actually going to the smart factory technology providers, partnering with them, and find out as to how these companies are creating such solutions which is pertaining to smart factory. So our mind maps are not just a standalone mind map, which conventionally a software company will sell you. I think it is a whole business intelligence, a platform which is not provided by any organization today. And that is what is the power that we have to say. So I might have taken a little bit of more time, but I'm sure that you must have got a very good glimpse of the ideas and the solutions that we provide to you. Thank you very much for your valuable time. And now I leave it to you. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just have a glass of water and then we can discuss the future steps. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Praveen sir, it was really a good one. And Jai Bharadwaj, actually, you did a very good job by connecting us with you. And it's really quite interesting. The presentations were very, very attractive as well. Actually, cleared almost all of our doubts which I had. A few things quickly, just like, see, for example, you are helping our students to get more knowledge as well as, take more ideas so that their innovation can be sharpened.
Yes.
And it can be more practical oriented when they really want to go for a startup or something like that.
And reduce the time. Yeah, reduce the cycle time. Yeah.
Reduce the cycle time, and some sort of, hand-holding is also there in terms of creating innovative ideas as well.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Few things actually. Suppose I say, suppose we are exposing our students to all these technologies at present. And even suppose somebody is interested in taking drone to the next level, as you explained.
Right.
And if they are exposed to what is already available, probably they can go to the next level. Okay, this is not existing.
Yeah.
This may be slightly innovative. They can pick up that idea and
iterate. Yeah, iterate. Yeah.
Iteration can be done.
Yes.
So once I understand this, actually, suppose if I look at the commercial model and also some sort of model from your company to us, how actually the mentoring can be taken to next level.
Yes.
If you can explain, it will be good for me.
Yes. So basically what we do, let us say that we provide you the open university license. That is what normally we do. So which means that the current students and the future students also who are joining, everybody will be able to access this tool on a cloud platform, right? On the smartphones, on the laptop, on computer, physical location, remote location, professors, everybody will have this access. So because if you take the enterprise solution, the price per student comes to very, very less. It is it is a very less price. And one good thing is there, sir, we only ask you one-time payment. You don't have to renew the license, but our product renewal and the updation is free of cost, right? However, you can charge a modest amount of money, which we always suggest, from the student on a per annum basis. Let us say 1,000 rupees per annum from a student you charge for all these tools, right? So you have 60 lakhs of rupees as an innovation fund, because as a result of this, the need for patent filing will go up, right? You will have to file more number of patents, but who is going to pay? University does not have that money. In some cases, you have to create prototypes. Some cases, you have to also seed them. So this money, this corpus that you create every year, let's say 60 lakhs in 3 years, you have 1 crore 80 lakhs. That is basically going for the expansion of the innovation in the institutes. Because of the money, because of the shortage of the funds, the innovation has suffered a lot in the past, right? They could never file their patent. Somebody stole their ideas. And even if you have to collaborate with a company, at least a provisional patent will have to be filed. You cannot go to a Procter and Gamble company unless a provisional patent, even if it is 2,000 rupees, has been filed. So my suggestion to you would be, we always suggest to all the people, we charge one-time fees. And you recover the amount every year from the student, which acts as an insurance. Every student will not be innovating. Out of 6,600 students want to file the patent, the money goes from there. Or let us say you have to take them to a company or to a startup competition, a pitching competition. The travel expenses have to be paid to them, stay expenses of the professors and all that. So marketing expenses also are required. So we suggest that we charge one time. In that we do two kind of programs. We train the trainers. Although we are a very process-driven company, everything is explained in a manual. I mean, which mind map to refer next is all sequential, right? So if you have to download the tools, it's in a very, very sequential manner. I can just show you the tools which are over here. You can see this. It's a very sequential process-driven approach. We talked about the mind maps. You can see the mind maps here. Download on your computers. So there are industry 4 mind maps, startup development, business functions, various sectors, breakthrough and design thinking. If you want to download mind maps on tech startups, it's in a very serial manner, which is all given here. Smart tech, fintech, robotech, clean tech, drone technology, insurance. But then what is important is we talked about the human-centered design, problem resolution, right? Design innovations, TRIS principles. So if I want to download this on my computer right now, I'll just show you how user-friendly the whole system is. It is downloading. You can see on my left-hand side of the screen. And few seconds, it comes in my remote location wherever I am. So the system of accessing the platform is very, very simple. The system of training is very systematic. We provide all the manuals. And so this mind map you can see on the screen. I have downloaded right now what was there and what you had seen, right? So that's how it goes about everything, all our idea generators, tools, and World Innovation Network app. So we provide the training, we provide the complete the student orientation program to your students, and in between, let us say in between, there is some kind of a mentorship required to them. They have created some projects on a regular basis. We can provide your mentors with the mentorship as to which company they should connect this with, which company they should go to, who is the company who can fund them, right? So that is, I think, a very, very important approach, because although I will just take 2 more minutes and just show you the mind map which was there on this. When it comes to funding, because the sources of startup funds, there is a mind map on that, and we say exactly where they have to go for the funding of their startups. So you can see here, right from the angel investors to crowdfunding, there are some great platforms which have come for crowdfunding today, and we must leverage these platforms, because if the VC is not doing it, you can actually go and see what these platforms are. So every mind map is actually connected with the source of the funding. That is very, very important. But however, having said so, we will also mentor them as to how do you create this venture worthy sort of mind maps, and where to go for the angel funding. So there are many, many new companies who have appeared, which were not there in the Indian scenario earlier. So the companies who are providing the seed funding, Velocity is one of the companies which is there. There are 19 active angel investors in India. So this is a very important research that we provide to them, which is going to be, so mentorship, yes. I mean, we are all open for all the kinds of arrangements, and to ensure that we give you the desired results. So while we provide the complete tools to you, train the trainer program, the student orientation program, in between, if there is any mentorship which is required, we can have a contract for that, sir, because normally some of the institutes want that, and some of the institutes say that no, we have our own infrastructure to do that. But if you want that, we can have a special per annum contract of mentorship also. So on a regular basis, the mentorship can be provided. That is not an issue, sir. So we'll give you the proposal, which will have one will be without the mentorship, one can be with the mentorship. So maybe let us say you need the hand holding for 1 year. From next year, you don't need that, right? Because your people would have been trained. So not an issue.
Okay, what is the cost? I think that was not properly.
See,
for example,
yeah.
Is it on number of student basis, or you were mentioning about one time? Is it for institution type, or how it exactly can be taken?
Sir, we understand the pressures on the institutes post-pandemic. I'll be very honest with you, right? We do not follow the American model, which says that per student per annum and all those kind of things. We have a certain criteria, right? Let us say for an institute of 6,000 students, the criteria is a modest amount of 10 lakhs of rupees one time, which is the least amount of fees that we are charging you, because we want something good to happen to India. I mean, we are not here to take the money from you, but however, you can collect 60 lakhs of rupees as a result of that, as I told you. And even if you take 500 rupees, it comes to 30 lakhs of rupees for the innovation fund that we have. For mentorship purposes, we will charge you, let us say if we do per sessions are there, right? If we do 4 sessions with you, 5 sessions with you, it is at the rate of about 50,000 rupees per session. Okay. So you want 4 sessions in a year. So we can charge 2 lakhs of rupees extra for that. So that is how it goes about. But the cost of the whole package, if you see 6,000 students divided by 10 lakhs of rupees, what is the cost, sir?
Yeah, that is right. But all the 6,000 will not be coming. No, maybe about 10% of them only will be little active.
Correct. But we have certain criteria on the basis of the size of the student. So we have calculated that, only 10% will come, or let us say 5%. But our basic cloud space will have to be taken by us. Right. So if you say that, it is, let us say 500 students, the cost of 500 students for, even if you say 10 lakhs one time, is peanuts. So it is just about 2,000 rupees for the lifetime charges that we charge.
Lifetime.
Yeah. And every time when a new student is added up, it will be again to be paid?
No, we don't take anything extra after a one-time license fee is paid. It's a lifetime license granted to the institute. Whether your 2,000 student enroll or 3,000 or 4,000, that's none of our business. So whether it is 500 or 5,000, the decision to offer it is with the, but we would say, sir, that it should be democratized, because we have made innovation within the common, I would say within the reach of every individual, sir. Now, every person who he may not be very good in mugging up things, in memorizing things, but he's a man of ideas. And this is the platform for them. You know that how many people from villages have come up with some great ideas. And in a simple term, we make them explain this. So the idea is that, we actually, help them in coming up with some great innovations that, they could not think earlier. And with these kind of principles, the things become much more easier.
Yeah. Which are the institutions you already have mentored or
we have many institutions, around the main thing started with the corporates, some of the Fortune 500 companies like Tata Motors. All their plants are using it. Aditya Birla Group, they are using it. If you see our website, we have many of the institutions over there. We have Terry School of Business. But let me tell you one thing, sir. The product that you are seeing right now is a result of our last 2 years, of the pandemic, because we had so much of time. The product which was offered to them before 2 years was not of this stage. So what you are getting right now is something absolutely state of the art and world class. It has evolved over a period of time. So these institutions who were using them, were not using of this nature. So that is one thing that I would like to add. So there are many institutions who have taken before this, where is Sharda University, then, MIT has taken recently, their training program is due. So as the universities are opening up, the universities are going for it, for the new packages and all. So we have around, I think, 30, but the need is there. Amity approached us recently. We have given it to Lovely Professional University, one of the largest universities in India. So excellent feed. Lovely Professional, because of they told me, because of the design template which is there on your screen, they were able to create 20 new design innovations in the span of 3 months, and their school of entrepreneurship. Surya Datta Institute created 50 startups within a span of about 1 year. And PCCO is created 370 patents. So, but the product that you see today is much more powerful. That's what I can tell you.
and any history of that you prepared some students for hackathons and they won some prizes?
Yes, yes. The VIT, for example, Vishnu Institute of Technology, Mr. Mehboob, they have won the hackathon because of the packages that we have given. The compensation packages also, they say that became doubled in the AIMS University. And there are many of them whose rankings has gone up. Atharva, who took the thing 5 years ago, they appeared in the Times ranking of most innovative universities because of the great lab that they created. We have great success stories, sir. The success stories are great.
Okay. May I request you to actually send one small proposal to us?
Yes, sir.
With all the salient points highlighted so that I can take with the management directly
Yes, sir.
and how we can actually go ahead further.
Sure.
Basically, I would suggest to bring out some clarity in what all the services that we can expect from you.
Right.
That is number one. And you said that it is going to be a perpetual license.
Right.
So that I think it could be highlighted also. The finance you can highlight.
Yes.
And second part is basically that
Innovation fund also. Yeah, that can be highlighted.
innovation point.
Yeah.
And which are the universities which you already are in your this thing client and
Sure,
what
sure.
are their progress?
Sure, sure.
And similarly, some success stories already as what you said earlier.
Sure, sure. It is all there on the website. We will give you the links to that. So you
Yeah,
can
it's
see.
okay.
Yeah. So we will
Yeah, if you
definitely.
can send me one small report, I can share it with my management
Sure, sure.
people and they will be able to take some decision on that.
Sure, sir. Sure. We will do
And-
that. And yeah.
Maybe in further, actually, we were also interested to discuss more about ARIA ranking, improvement in ARIA ranking.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe
we
through
will.
this,
Yes.
we can discuss that also.
Sure, sir. Sure. So thank you so much for your valuable feedback and insights, and also your most valuable time. I'm glad that you have liked the whole product. It's a very powerful product, I can assure you, and look forward to a wonderful association. Mr. Murthy, thank you very much also.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. This was wonderful.
Any other questions, sir?
Not right now. I mean, if I have any, I will connect with you.
I will send you the recording of the meeting, sir.
Yes, thank you so
yeah.
much.
To both
Yeah,
of
it's
them.
required for me also. So please
Yeah.
send it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much, sir.
About your
Thank you, and wish you all the best and a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bharadwaj, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good
sir.
day.
Bye, sir.
Good day. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, Murthy.
Thank you.